Hey, what's up? It's Abs, and today I'm going to be talking about how to get into reading as someone who hated books, would rather watch movies instead of read books, would do anything than to read books because it was freaking boring. But now things have changed, and I've read more books in a few months than I have in more than 5 or 8 years. So let's jump into it. So, tip one would be to start with nonfiction instead of fiction because nonfiction books could be applicable to your daily life, and this could be self help or productive books. These things you could, maybe change the way that you think or apply to things differently in life. This could help improve yourself, and these are things that, you know, you might be interested in versus reading about dragons and I don't know, maybe you can relate to a dragon, but self-help books or nonfiction might be easier. Number two would be think of a hobby that you want to get into or learn like a new skill. There's definitely a book about it. And if you have interest in that topic, skill, or hobby, it's going to make you want to read more about it or learn more about it. Three would be to get a Kindle. Surprisingly, this is a huge game changer. Uh, I don't know. When I used to read books, I would read the same line over and over again. I really have that issue with a Kindle for some reason, and not only that, this tells you progress on like how much percent you have left, or how many hours or minutes you have left until the end of the chapter, or the end of the book. And that's kind of motivating you to want to complete the book. So, definitely highly recommend. On top of that, Kindle Unlimited also has a great library of books. Even like the most popular books are on there. And it's going to make you want to flood your uh, book inventory. I have so many books in my inventory from Kindle Unlimited where Amazon's basically telling me that I need to stop and return a book before I can get another book. But, I mean, it's just I get so excited to have many books and like start reading. And now I'm at the point where I'm kind of dabbling between several books instead of like reading one book and then going to the next one. I'm I'm all over the place, but it works for me. Tip four would be to start with small reading goals. For instance, read 5 pages per day or 10 pages per day. Starting out small and being able to tackle these little like goals is going to make it easier for you, and to the point where maybe you become interested in a book that the pages don't even matter anymore. I just read because I want to read, and it's not like a chore for me anymore. It's more of leisure. Five would be to convert the amount of time that you spent on your phone before you go to sleep into reading time. And I know most of us, if not all of us, we do this. We are always on our phones before we go to bed. We just stare at our screens in the dark and then we go to sleep. And it's actually just not so good for you. In fact, that it's also because impacting your melatonin levels, it's going to be harder to fall asleep. But if you make the time to read, then it's going to be easier to kind of ease in going to bed because you're not staring at like a screen. And for me, I used to sleep pretty late, but now I actually have slept earlier because I get in bed earlier just to read. Number six would be to read a sample of the book before you buy it. This helps gauge whether or not you are interested in reading the book. And I find this important because there's books that I've bought and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this has to be good. I will read the first few pages and I'm like, this is the most boring book I've ever read. And this is a bonus tip, I guess, but so I have been on the treadmill and I've hated being on the treadmill. Like I get so bored. I will try to watch a video and I'm constantly staring at the time like, okay, how many minutes is left until I can get off this treadmill? But I now read on the Kindle while I'm on the treadmill, and time flies so quick to the point where it's just so easy to be on the treadmill, and now I enjoy it. But yeah, that's all I have for today. If you have any book recommendations, please feel free to drop them below in the comments. I have been reading nonfiction and fiction books. So, yeah, I'd really love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.